Chapter 21. With proof of the thing dead, most people thought that this would be the end. However, it was just the beginning of a whole new set of problems. The police made a statement that the killer was a hermit living in the woods. It made more sense than a Frankenstein-like monster with a deer skull for a hand. Paramedics came and took the body away. Carl and Jerry had to tell Andrew's wife what happened to him. Turns out the thing killed him when he was shopping at the same grocery store East worked at. His upper body, mostly his rib cage, was thrown under Rusty's car, which caused her to crash. Aaron Chase was found ripped apart with no sign of the injuries sustained by his fight with East. Jerry stated that because Aaron had a gun and threatened the teens, East's actions would be considered self-defense. Overall, the body count was about 30. First was Patrick, his friends Eric and Daniel, East's friend Jeff Ross. They managed to count at least 25 bodies at the church, Andrews, and finally Aaron. That's not even counting the amount of missing people. Rusty returned East's truck and the police drove her home. Both her and the officer explained the situation to Martha and then Malcolm when he got home from work. Needless to say, the three had a very emotional reunion. Neither Rusty nor Martha told him they knew the truth. It was more or less the same with East. Both his parents and Joey were ecstatic when he came home. Jane practically cried upon seeing him. Carl asked both Tim and Andre to stay in town for a couple of days until they sorted out a few more things. Neither of them had a problem with that. Tim still had to wait for his car to be fixed, so he couldn't leave anyway, and Andre seemed like good company. Joey called JJ to let him know what happened. Despite this, JJ still insisted on him and Bubba coming to Brookfield since they were already halfway there. So it was decided, when they arrived, to just make it a fun day to hang out. All in all, with the monster dead, everyone thought things were going to get better. They were wrong. Joey and the man in leather found themselves viewing the monster's autopsy. There were two doctors, or coroners, whatever they were called, and a police officer. He wanted to ask the man in leather what they were doing here, but felt that he needed to watch instead. From the looks of it, we've got a male of indeterminate age, one coroner said. Why do you say that? The officer asked. Because it seems the majority of his body are parts taken from people and animals that he's killed. They began to cut the monster open, all the while recording their findings. There seems to be a mossy substance covering all the organs, the lead coroner said. They removed the moss and started pulling out the organs. Look here, he continued, pointing to what looked like a surgical scar on the intestines. I think the moss is used whenever it steals a body part. The second coroner pulled out the rib cage and it almost completely shattered. The lead took a look once he put the organs down. Rib cage looks like it's put together from 3 different people. Few of these were done recently by the looks of it. The officer walked around to look at the creature's head. Joey and the man in leather followed. What about this? The officer asked. The coroners examined the head. Wisps of hair, could be from the original skin. The second coroner sliced open the skin and saw a misshapen skull covered in a green film. Look at this. The lead coroner took a look. Just as I thought, he said. Just like with the rest of the body, it's put together from past victims. And what about that? The officer pointed to the thing's bottom jaw and how contorted it seemed. The coroners took a closer look. What is that, a dog? The second coroner asked. Big dog, or maybe a bear. Black bear, maybe. It looks like it was broken down to fit in the head. The lead looked some more and noticed the difference between its eyes. That's definitely a goat's eye. He looked at the rest of the body. The left arm and right leg looked to have been taken at different points. For the right hand, it looked like he took a deer's skull and vertebrae. As for the rest of it, I'd have to dissect. The left leg is definitely from a small horse. The bones were broken and reset to serve its needs. Overall, the body seems to be covered with layers of flesh and skin stolen from people and animals, held together with mud, vines, moss, whatever it could find in the woods. I'd say the only thing left of his original body would be the spinal column and most of its head. How the hell could someone live like this for all these years? The officer asked. That's the thing. It's impossible, especially with the way it's been done. You gotta take into account the veins, circulatory system. He shouldn't be alive, yet here he is. If I had to take a guess, we're dealing with something supernatural. Joey walked around the three men to get a closer look at the body. Up close, he finally saw how grotesque and deteriorated it was. The mold and fungus that grew all around its body made him want to vomit. Joey woke up in a cold sweat. He sat up to see that his pillow was completely soaked. Holy shit! He blinked, and in that process, when he opened his eyes, he felt even more tired. Did he fall back to sleep and wake up again? He checked his phone to find that it was 12:45 in the afternoon. Holy shit! He jumped out of bed and walked to East's room. He was out cold with the sheets half off. East, wake up! He shook his cousin with no results. East, goddammit! He shook him harder. This time, East got up. Jesus! East shot up and started swinging. Joey jumped back to avoid a right cross. Dude, calm down! He grabbed East and tried to hold him down until he finally was calm. Damn it, Joey! East rubbed his eyes. What is it? Joey sat down. I don't know, he said. I'm sorry, bro, I just had a bad dream. East laughed. Oh man, I thought shit hit the fan. He checked his phone. What time is it? 12:45? Time to get up? With Malcolm already at work, Martha had been awake for about an hour and a half, give or take, when the doorbell chimed. Rusty, could you get that? She called. Oh, right, she thought. She's still passed out in bed. The doorbell chimed again as she walked to the door. I'm coming, she called. Martha opened the door to a very large man in his early 30s. He wore a flannel shirt and ripped jeans. Hey, are you Martha Williams? He asked. Martha was a little put off by him. His voice sounded like a rock star wannabe that smoked weed like a chimney. Yes, I am, she answered. Is your daughter Rusty Williams? Martha felt her hand shake. Yes. The man stepped inside. He towered over her and barely fit through the door. Can I come in? East was already showered and dressed for the day. Yet he had nothing planned. School was still closed, and today was his day off from work. Joey walked out of the bathroom after taking his shower. Like East, his trade school was closed and he didn't have a job. Yet. What do you got planned for today? He asked. Gonna hang out with Rusty? East shook his head. I don't think so. Shits was so fucked up yesterday, she just needs her rest. There was a chime from the phone at the center of the kitchen table. Joey instinctively grabbed it, not realizing that it wasn't his. Once he turned it on, he noticed the mistake. Oops. He handed the phone to East. It's fine, answer it. Joey checked the text that was sent and almost dropped the phone at what he saw. East noticed this. What is it? He asked. Joey handed him the phone. It was an image of a large man holding Rusty by the throat. Most importantly, he had golden eyes. East got up and made his way to the door. East, wait, Joey said. He grabbed his shoes as East grabbed his coat. I'm coming with you. The two made their way to the truck.